Jai. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas, welcoming all of you to Bhakti Sangha conference call. I thank all of you for attending this session. Please forgive me for interrupting your ecstatic chanting. I would like to read the 10 offenses to the holy name which are to be avoided, written by Srila Vyasadeva in Padma Purana. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their life for propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the name of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal or to be independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the order of the spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in Vedas as fruitive activity Karma Kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not to have a complete faith in chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success of Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Let us move on to our next part of the session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. Before that, may I know who all joined this morning?
हरे कृष्ण विनीता गंधरी माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम सदा प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय प्रीति दासी प्रभुपाद हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna Preeti Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining every single day and announcing your name first, Mataji. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hari Bol.
हरे कृष्ण हरि बोल
हरे कृष्ण माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम शिला प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय दिस इज अरविंद दास फ्रॉम शिकागो हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna Arvindaksha Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for joining every day, giving your assistation. Welcome to the call. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Vidita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Shama Gaur from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna Shama Gauri Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining every day, giving your assistation. Welcome to the call. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devidasi from Chicago.
Hare Krishna Yeshumati Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining and giving your assistation every single day and chanting so beautifully. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna.
Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karna Devidasi from Hong Kong.
Hare Krishna Indulekha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining. And once again, we would like to wish you a happy Krishna conscious birthday. We think that yesterday you had a very wonderful day, Mataji. Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. I'm here just to wish Indulekha Mataji. Mataji, happy birthday. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
From Dallas,
Anuradha
Texas.
Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining and giving your valuable assistation this morning. And I'm very happy to hear your voice. Yesterday, your interview was awesome. Hari Bol, welcome.
Hare Krishna Indulekha Mataji. Happy Krishna conscious birthday.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you for your blessings. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead. Okay, if there are nobody want to introduce, we'll start the recording, Mataji. Yeah, I have ready, Mataji. This. Oh, interview. Okay, interview. Yeah. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today, we are very fortunate to have His Grace Gaur Vilas Prabhu to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 15th chapter, 73 verse. Before we hand over the call to Prabhuji, I would like to read Prabhuji's introduction. His Grace Gaur Vilas Prabhuji. We are very happy to have him on the call today. Prabhuji came to Krishna consciousness in 2004. He earned a MBBS degree from Grant Medical College. Gaurvilas Prabhuji joined the ashrama in 2010. He was initiated as a disciple of His Holiness Radha Swami Maharaj in 2012. Prabhuji preaches in various medical and engineering colleges. He also conducts programs for doctors at Bhakti Vedanta Hospital and in corporate environments. He is a teacher of Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav course. He also conducts congregational programs in Mumbai and Maharashtra. Gaur Vilas Prabhu has done thorough studies of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. We are looking forward to hear from him today. Is Prabhuji there on the call, Mataji? Not yet. Yes, he's there. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to your wonderful services to ISKCON, Prabhuji. We are very grateful to you and we are very happy to hear from you this morning. Srimad Bhagavatam. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Hare Krishna, all the devotees. Thank you for this opportunity to serve. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuron Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Zagrajata Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Mancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vashatyade Shatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So today we are discussing from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, last chapter, text number 73. Chapter is entitled Instructions for Civilized Human Beings. तावद्दास्यामहं यज्ञे तत्रापि ब्रह्मवादिनां शुश्रूषयानुसंगेन प्राप्तोऽहं ब्रह्मपुत्रताम्. Translation. Although I took birth as a Shudra from the womb of a maidservant, I engaged in service of Vaishnavas who are well versed in Vedic knowledge. Consequently, in this life, I got the opportunity to take birth as son of Lord Brahma. Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead says in Bhagavad Gita 9.32, Mami Partha Vipashritya Yepi Suk Papayonaya Sriyo Vaishyastha Shudras Depi Anti Paramgatim. O son of Pritha, those who take shelter of me, take shelter in me, though they be of low birth, women, Vaishyas, and as well as Shudras, can approach the same destination. It doesn't matter whether a person is born as a Shudra, a woman, or a Vaishya. If he associates with devotees repeatedly or always, sadhu sangena, he can be elevated to the highest position, highest perfection. Narad Muni is explaining this in relation to his own life. The Sankirtan movement is important, for regardless of whether one is a Shudra, Vaishya, Malecha, Yavana, or whatever, if one associates with pure devotee, follows his instructions, and serves the pure devotee, his life is successful. This is bhakti. Anukulyena Krishnanushilanam. Bhakti consists of serving Krishna and his devotees very favorably. Anya Vilashita Shunyam. If one has no other desire than to serve Krishna and his devotee, then his life is perfect, successful. This is explained by Narad Muni through his practical example from his own life. Hare Krishna. So this is one of the last verses of this canto. In this, Sri Narad Muni is describing his own life. If you see the setting of this discussion, Narad Muni, he is such a great devotee. He is the one who has made many powerful personalities into devotees. Vyasadeva was made a devotee. He is guru of Vyasadeva. He is guru of Prahlad. He is guru of Dhruva. He is guru of Priyavrat, Uttanpad, Prachina Barhi, Prachetas, everyone, and all the other great personalities, many great personalities. So Narad Muni, he is known to be a very, very powerful preacher, very, very wonderful devotee, a pure devotee of the Lord, who has a spiritual body, expert in sharing Krishna consciousness. That's why his name is Narada, one who gives Narayan to others. And what is he doing here? He is telling his past life, which is not so glorious. This shows a devotee is not so much interested in his or her personal glorification, personal fame. He's not thinking, what will people say about me? No, all these things you have done. My name will be, my reputation will be gone. It may happen. But Narad Muni is not thinking all that. He is concerned about welfare of this devotee. He is only interested in glorifying the process of devotion, process of bhakti. And that is what he is doing. That's how he does many times. And Shukdev Goswami, when he is speaking this to Parikshit Maharaj, it is a discussion going on between Shukdev Goswami and Parikshit, entire Bhagavatam. And Narad Muni is sitting in the audience. And Shukdev Goswami is speaking about Narad Muni's past life, which is not so glorious. He just spoke. Narad Muni himself told that I was Upabarahana. I was attached to women. And that's how I was cursed. I was singing all the materialistic songs. Prabhupada writes he was singing Bollywood songs. So a devotee is never ever interested in his or her own glorification, own reputation. He is interested in glorifying the process of devotion. So to glorify the process of devotional service, Narad Muni starts telling about his life, how he came to Krishna consciousness. We all like to hear how people became devotees. So here Narad Muni is telling how he became devotee. The description of this few verses comes in detail in the first canto. We all know, we have heard many times. Aham puratit bhave bhavan mune dasyastu kashyashtan vedavadinam nirupito balakeva yogina shushrushane pravrishirvivikshatam. This verse from the 5th chapter of the first canto describes Narad Muni. There he's instructing Vyasadeva. The same thing. Aham puratit bhave bhavam mune. O Muni, O Vyasadeva, in the last millennium, I was Dasya Sukasha Shanavedavadinam. I was the son of some insignificant maid servant. As he is telling this verse also. I was a Shudra, born from the womb of a maid servant. He doesn't even mention the name of his mother. It was not at all significant for him. Some insignificant Shudra women But the power of devotion is Nirupito balakaiva yogina. I was engaged in the service of the great devotees, the Bhaktivedantis. The same thing he's saying here also. In this verse, he's saying, Shushrushayana anusangena tatrapi brahmavadinam shushrushaya. The same word is used here also. Shushrushane pravishi. Same, in the first chapter, fifth verse, the same word is used. Shrushane. Shrushane means by rendering service. That's the power of devotional service. Even a person who is born of a low class, just by serving the devotees for few months, what happened to him? Prabhupada writes a beautiful line in the first canto purport. He says, the wonder of an atmosphere surcharged with devotional service to the Lord is briefly described herein by Sri Narad Muni. The wonder of an atmosphere surcharged with devotional service. When we are with the devotees, when COVID times were going on, we could not get physical association and online classes were started. But even though devotees were getting to hear so many wonderful discussions, there was no option available. Everybody felt the need of coming together and discussing Hari Katha together. That is a different experience altogether. However beautiful the classes may be, but whenever the chance comes to come together physically and take association and hear Hari Katha, that is a luxury. It is surcharged with devotional service. Parasparanukathanam pavanam bhagavatesha mitharati mitha tushti nivritti mitha atmanaha. When devotees, they come together and discuss Hari Katha, Parasparanukathanam, they discuss Pavanam Bhagavatesha, they discuss the glories of the Supreme Lord. It is so very wonderful. One gets attached to the Lord, one gets attached to the devotional service, one gets satisfied. So, this process of devotional service, Narad Muni is describing. It is to tell us how powerful this process is. Just by being in touch with devotees for a few months. Now we have heard this Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha. Lava is a fraction of a second, 1/20. 1/20th of a second is called Lava. Lava Matra. If somebody takes association of devotees for that insignificant amount of time, if it is done in right consciousness, Sarva Siddhi hoy. So this Vyasdev, this Narad Muni, he is glorifying the process of devotional service. Bhakti is possible only by the mercy of devotees. Nothing else. There is no other cause of devotion than the fortunate mercy of the devotees of the Lord. Nothing else is required. If somebody is a great tapasvi, somebody is great charitable person, nothing pleases Krishna. Nothing can buy the process of devotion. Tapasvino dhanapara yashasvino manasvino mantravido sumangala Shemam na vindanti vinaya darpanam tasmai subhadra shravashe namo namaha. Even if somebody is a great tapasvi, Dhanapara, very charitable person, Yashashvi, very famous person, Manasvi, a great thinker, Mantravida, expert in reciting mantras, Shemam na vindanti. They will not get benefit if it is not used to serve Krishna. And if it is not used to serve the devotees of Krishna. Anything else doesn't please Krishna. We cannot buy Krishna's mercy by doing any type of tapasya. Only one thing attracts Krishna's mercy. When devotees they show mercy to somebody, then Lord shows mercy to that person for sure. Otherwise, a living entity, come in this world, tries to enjoy, since many births we are trying to enjoy. But still, so far we have not achieved any success. Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj, he was recounting one of the pastimes of Prabhupada. Prabhupada was at the airport, departure lounge, and many devotees had come to see off Prabhupada. One devotee, they had a young toddler, 2-3 years old child, and he was just running around. He walked away few steps, and he was exploring the airport. He's looking at this and that. Prabhupada saw this boy, said, "Oh, he is very brave. Just see, he's wandering alone." After a few steps, this child, he looked around and he didn't see his mother, and he started crying. Prabhupada said, "This is our position. We want to become independent, but when we become independent, then we are in so much of difficulty. So we wanted to enjoy. We have come here trying to explore, and now we are crying because of the pain. Kamadinam katina katina palita duranidesha tesham jata maina karuna natrapanupashanti." Oh my Lord, I have tried to serve my anarthas for many millions of lives. But they are so ungrateful, masters. Tesham jata maina karuna. They have not shown any compassion. No trapa, no relief, no upashanti, no peace. Utsrijya etan, in this life, now I have given up the service of my senses. Utsrijya etan atha yadupate. O Yadupati, I have given up service to my anarthas, and I am trying to serve you. Sampratam labdha buddhi, I have realized that was my fault. Oh Lord, please accept me in your shelters. Tvam ayata sharanam, I have come to your shelter, oh my Lord. Please accept me. In few days, Ram Navami is coming. Let's just like Vibhishan, he approaches Lord Ram, and beautiful conversation happens. Vibhishan, when he comes, none of the monkey soldiers, they are allowing him to come. They are all doubting him. Sugriva, Angada, everybody's doubting. Vibhishan says, "By nature I am demon, and now I have developed a desire to serve you, serve Lord Ram and surrender to him. Nyavedayat mam shipram ragavaya mahatmane sarvaloka sharanyaya raghavam upastitam." He says, "Nyavedayat mam shipram." Now I have developed a desire to surrender to Lord Ram. Please bring me in front of him quickly, because by nature I am a demon. When my mind will change, I don't know. So whenever we develop some good thing, some desire to do some good activity, we should do it immediately. Today I am feeling like chanting more. Do it immediately. When the mind will change, nobody knows. Mind is like that demon. And then ultimately, Sugriva and everybody goes and tells this to Ram, and Ram takes the suggestion of Hanumanji, and he says, "Okay, I'll give shelter to Vibhishan, bring him." And then Lord Ram speaks a beautiful verse. Sakriteva prapannoya tavasmi tichayachate abhayam sarvada tasmai dadami tadvratam mama. He says, what to speak of Vibhishan? Even if Ravana comes himself, Sugrivo va Vibhishana Yadiva Ravana Swayam, even if Ravana comes and surrenders to me, I'll give him shelter because Sakrit, even if somebody comes and says once, Sakrit means once. He says, even if somebody comes and says once, what does he say? Tava asmi iti. I am yours, O my Lord. Abhayam sarvada tasmai. I give him fearlessness. Sarvada, always will be fearless. That is my vrata. That is my vow. So as soon as a devotee takes this decision, I have done enough of service of my senses. Now I want to serve the Lord. We may not be successful, but we should not give up. Because Lord is pleased. Lord is not so pleased by flashes of devotion. He's pleased by the consistency more. Consistency pleases Krishna more than the brilliant flashes of devotion. When the Lord sees that this devotee is really consistent in his seva, in his chanting, in his reading of scriptures, or whatever services we are doing, that attracts the Lord. So this wonderful story which Narad Muni is describing to Yudhishthir Maharaj, it is the glorification of the process of devotion, and it is glorification of devotee. How one develops attraction for the Lord. It all begins with, we have heard the nine stages, Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, and it goes on to Prema. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, in the first canto in this section, he describes that even before Shraddha, there are two stages. The first thing is Mahat Kripa. Then comes Mahat Seva. And then comes Shraddha. It begins by devotees showing mercy. Mahat Kripa Vina Kon Karme Bhakti Naye Krishna Bhakti Dur Rahu Samsara Nahishay. Without association, without mercy of devotees, Mahat Kripa Vina, nobody can get devotion. Not possible. It is impossible to get devotion without Mahat Kripa. It is impossible. And this section is a brilliant example of this. Mahat Kripa Vina Kona Karme Bhakti Nahi. Only by Mahat Kripa one can get devotion. Because Narad Muni in the previous verses, he told, I was so beautiful. Rupa, Peshal, Madhurya, Saugandhya, Priya Darshanaha, Strinam Priyatamo Nityam Mattaswa Puralampataha. Rupa, Peshal, Madhurya. She was beautiful. He had a beautiful body, attractive senses. Saugandhya Priya Darshana. He had a fragrant, attractive body. He had everything material needed. But because he offended devotees there, he became Shudra. But by the mercy of devotees, even in a Shudra body, he got devotion. By the mercy of devotees, this small boy became Narad Muni. As Prahlad Maharaj tells to his father, oh my father, without getting the dust of the devotees, nobody can get devotion. He says, go and take the dust, bathe yourself by the dust of the devotees. We have to guts. We get a wonderful determination to even preach to Hiranyakashipu, the greatest of the demon. Devtas were trembling in front of him, and he is telling, just bathe yourself with the dust of the devotees. That is the power of devotion. The power of devotees is described again and again in Bhagavatam. In the fifth canto also, in Rahugana and Jada Bharat's story, Rahugan, when he came to know that this person who has been employed as my palanquin carrier, he's not an ordinary person, it seems. He looks like some great saintly personality. Maybe he's Kapila Dev, maybe he's Dattatreya. And he jumps off the palanquin, falls flat in front of Jada Bharat, and he begs forgiveness and he says, I didn't know your glories. I do not fear anything in this world. I do not fear the thunderbolt of Indra. I do not fear the Yamadanda. I do not fear the trident of Lord Shiva. I do not fear the weapons of Kuvera. I fear only one thing. I fear offending Vaishnavas. And Jad Bharat, he starts speaking. He says, O Rahugana, nobody can get devotion unless one takes the dust of the devotee's feet on his head. Rahuganai tattapasanayati na che jaya nirvapana grihadva na chandasanai vajalagni suryai vina mahatpada rajobhishekam. Vina mahatpada rajobhishekam. If somebody does not put the dust of the devotee's feet on one's head, no chance. What it means to take the dust of the devotees. Nowadays, many times in ISKCON, there is a fight which happens. Dust. To take the dust of the devotees. In that fight, many devotees have fractured their legs also. What it means to take the dust of the devotees' feet. It means I am ready to serve you. That is the mood of a devotee. I am ready to serve you. So it is so very important to understand the bhakti is so very powerful and devotees are so very wonderful. They can only give devotion. Now the process of bhakti, it destroys all our previous karmic reactions. Just like the fire burns the firewood, all our karmic seeds are destroyed by the practice of bhakti. In fact, the beginning stages is sufficient to destroy all our karmic seeds. It is described many times that bhakti is like digestive fire. Digestive fire has three qualities. Digestive fire is very specific. It absorbs the nutrients and destroys the waste material. Bhakti, it also destroys all the anarthas and it creates spiritual it creates spiritual sentiments. It activates the spiritual senses. Second quality of bhakti. Bhakti, it is like digestive fire. It takes time to digest food. If somebody eats prasad, it is not that after washing hands, okay, next meal should be ready. No, it takes time for one to digest the food. Similarly, it takes time for devotional service to destroy the anarthas, to purify us. We should not be impatient in the practice of devotional service. Many times, devotees, they expect too much out of their devotional service. I want to get purified now. I want to be free of anarthas now. Kitna time lagega? How much time will it take? 1 week, 2 weeks? Lust. If we enter devotional service with a time-bound project, okay, 1 month my lust should go, right? then 2 months envy, then greed, and then after by the end of 1 year, I'm pure devotee. No, it doesn't happen like that. We have to be really patient with ourselves. If we are not patient with ourselves, we'll get, frustrated. It happens many times. When our anarthas, they start troubling us, we think, I've been practicing since so many years. What is happening? Takes time. Dhairya is a very, very important thing. And a question to all of you, how many of you have experienced that after practicing years and years this process of devotional service, suddenly after 5, 6, or 10 years, I'm seeing that my anarthas are increasing. Earlier they were not like that. Earlier I was more peaceful. Now my anarthas are troubling me more. Any of you have this experience? Can raise hands? Yes. If that is not happening, that means there is some problem. It has to happen for sure. It will happen. Why it happens, Yes, many devotees are raising hands. I'll show you very, very wonderful purport of Prabhupada, which is a very hope-giving purport. When I read that, it was like great solace. Why all these things are happening? Why one experiences increase of anarthas? It is 4th canto, 29th chapter. I'll just share the screen. I think I can. Yeah. Okay, 4th canto, 29th chapter, verse number 69. Yes. Prabhupada writes a brilliant purport, few lines, they are really amazing. In this, Prabhupada is writing here, by the grace of Lord Krishna, Mother Yashoda saw all the universes and planets within the mouth of Krishna. Similarly, by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, a Krishna conscious person can see all his dormant desires at one time and finish all his future transmigrations. This facility is given, specially given to the devotee to make his path clear for returning home back to Godhead. It is so very wonderful and interesting and hope-giving to understand that we are doing right. There is no wrong in our practice. In due course of time, just like in Bhagavad Gita, there is a verse, I think in the 5th chapter, Prakashayante Mahatmanaha, this verse, I think 11th or 12th verse, Prakashante Mahatmana. This verse says that by the practice of devotional service, now you can see what is there inside. What is inside us? There are 2 things inside us. Our anarthas and the Supreme Lord. We can see, we start experiencing the presence of Lord and we see our anarthas very clearly. That is very, very interesting to note. We will start seeing our anarthas very, very clearly. Srila Prabhupada writes that one can see all his dormant desires at one time and finish all his future transmigrations. How it will happen? How will finish? Because we'll be disgusted. Oh, how sinful I am. What all things I have done, I don't know. All these anarthas are coming up. And then Prabhupada writes another very interesting line. Why we see things not experienced in this life? That which we see is the future expression of gross body or is already stocked in our mental stockpile. It's there inside us. It is just coming out. We should not be disturbed. We should not feel so much of guilty conscious that we give up the practice, we become frustrated. Being a Krishna conscious person, because a Krishna conscious person does not have to accept a future gross body, his recorded desires are fulfilled in a dream. And that also happens sometimes. In dream, we see so many wrong things. Prabhupada writes, that is the mercy. All our desires are destroyed in dreams only. Therefore, we see sometimes things in dream never experienced in our present life. So that is the mercy of the Lord. The process of devotional service, it is so very powerful. It takes time to digest. It takes time to destroy our anarthas. We should be patient with ourselves. We should not have unnecessary expectations by the practice of devotional service. We should not expect miracles in Krishna consciousness. Nothing happens overnight. Slow and steady wins the race. We have heard many times. Keep on practicing. The third thing which which the digestive fire has, if the digestive fire is sufficient enough, one does not have to do anything else to digest the food. We don't have to take any churn, no gymnastics, no running up and down to digest. It happens automatically. Similarly, by the practice of devotional service, everything is accomplished. Jarayati ashu yakosham nigirnam analoyatha. Just like the firewood burns the wood, the fire burns the firewood. Jarayati means it is burned. Our subtle desires, our subtle body is burned. It is purified by the practice, by the fire of devotion. There is only one thing by which one can get devotion, only by the mercy of devotees. Nothing else. And Narada Muni, he is showing by his personal example how he became devotee. In Madhurya Kadambini, there is a beautiful discussion. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes. He says, what is the cause of bhakti? Is piety the cause of bhakti? Oh, I did some punya in the past, that's why I've got this devotion. If we accept piety as the cause of bhakti, then bhakti becomes dependent on piety. But bhakti is independent. Bhakti doesn't depend on anything. So, what is the cause of bhakti? Mercy of the Lord is the cause of bhakti. If mercy of the Lord is cause of bhakti, why Lord is not giving mercy to everyone? That means Lord is guilty of not giving devotion. That is not the case. Lord always wants that everybody should come to the practice of bhakti. Then what is the cause of bhakti? Then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, if we agree that bhakti impregnates the devotee's heart as a result of causeless mercy, Krishna's causeless mercy, when Lord shows mercy, then bhakti enters the heart of a devotee, and that devotee can give devotion to others. There is only one thing which can bring devotion in somebody. The devotion in the heart of a devotee can give devotion to somebody, nothing else. Bhakti is only thing which is responsible for bhakti. The bhakti is in the heart of a devotee can give rise to bhakti in somebody else's heart. So there is no substitute for association of devotees. What is actually fortune? Srila Prabhupada writes in one of the purport in Chaitanya Charitamrita, what is actually fortune? He says there are 4 things which makes a person fortunate or unfortunate. Mamanaradhya dukhartam kutumba saktamanasah satsangrahito martyo vriddha seva parichyata. Krishna is telling this. If somebody is getting a chance to worship me, he is most fortunate. If somebody realizes that the purpose of my life is not just to take care of my family, kutumba asakta, he is not kutumba asakta, but he is developing connection with me. That person is fortunate. If somebody is getting association of my devotees, he is most fortunate. Satsanga. If somebody is getting a chance to serve devotees, he is most fortunate. These four things make a person fortunate. And we are so fortunate by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and the current acharyas and the devotees. We have got this process of devotion without any extra endeavor. Just like when I was in medical college studying, some of my friends, they would go and attend our program. And I would tell my friends, I was in first year, I would tell my friends, hey, you are going for that program. No? When the program ends, when the prasad starts, you call me. I would go for khichdi and halwa. I would take khichdi, halwa, and I would come back. I did that for around 7-8 months. And then after eating khichdi for 7-8 months, khichdi starts digesting in some time. And when khichdi starts digesting, then one starts thinking, okay, thoda chanting bhi karna chahiye, nahi? You should start chanting also sometime. By the practice of this eating prasad and associating with devotees there, we get devotion. When I was in medical college, first year, I started chanting. By the end of the first year, I was chanting 1 round, 2 rounds, like that. And my university exam came. I was just like a very new boy going for a program for 4-5 programs I had attended. And it was my university exam, day 1. We had very wonderful devotees that time, very senior devotees. Morning, I am just getting ready for exam. And before exam, I generally don't take breakfast. I heard a knock on my door. And I opened the door. There was one devotee. He has already passed his MBBS. He was doing internship. Very, very senior person. He came with a plate of prasad for me. And it had, I still remember, poha, chutney, and a glass of milk. And I was surprised to see that this person is such a senior person. And he's getting this for a boy who has just started chanting. That one thing was so very powerful. That attracted. I started thinking maybe I should become more regular. So that's how the association of devotees is so very powerful, contagious. It requires a great fortune. Maivam mamadhamasyapi syateva chutadarshana riyamana kalanadya kvachittarati kashana. By some great fortune, just like in a river, by some great fortune, by some providence, the two straws, they come together, stay for some time. By some great fortune, we have received this process of devotion. Kon bhagye karo samshara shayanmukh hoye sadhu sanga tabe krishne rati upajay. Only by sadhu sanga we can develop attraction for Krishna, nothing else. We have heard about Sukriti. There are 3 types of Sukriti. Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes in his Jaiva Dharma. There are 3 types of Sukriti. Bhogonmukhi Sukriti, Mokshonmukhi Sukriti, and Bhaktionmukhi Sukriti. Bhogonmukhi Sukriti means if somebody has done sufficient pious activities in the past life, helping people, giving charity, digging wells, and distributing food, whatever. This pious activity will give one a chance to enjoy the material sense gratification more in the next life. Bhogonmukhi, bhog karne ke liye. Second type is moksha-onmukhi. If somebody has practiced this ashtanga or dhyana in the past life, it is easy for them to practice the same path of moksha. Like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, प्राप्य पुण्य कृताम लोकानुषित्वा शाश्वती समाशुचिनाम श्रीमताम गेहे योग भ्रष्टो विजायते. The chance to practice this again becomes easier. Most important type of sukriti is bhakti unmukhi sukriti. What gives this bhakti unmukhi sukriti? He says two things. Either one has received the mercy of the devotee in this life, or he has done some devotion in the past life. These two things, of course, in the past life also, the devotion starts only by the mercy of devotee. So practically it is only one thing. By the mercy of devotee, one gets bhakti unmukhi sukriti. Otherwise, it is not possible. And all the devotees, they're really working hard. Srila Prabhupada worked so hard to give us this devotion. Every day, practically, from 12 to 4, he would translate. The last moments of his life, Yashamati Nandan Prabhu, he recalls that in Mayapur, Prabhupada was there. It is 1977, last few months of Prabhupada in this world. Prabhupada had a fever. And Yashamati Nandan Prabhu, he was massaging Prabhupada gently. It was night, 2 o'clock. Suddenly, Prabhupada woke up and he said, "These rascal scientists do not accept this. Go and preach to them. Tell them that you are not this body, you are spirit soul." Can you imagine? Prabhupada is speaking philosophy at 2:30 in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, in the middle of high fever. That is called as Jiva Daya. He dreamt about preaching. He lived for preaching. He lived for sharing Krishna consciousness with others. One of the persons, one of the Sri Vaishnava Brahman, he came to meet Prabhupada because he heard that the devotees, they started making deities of Prabhupada while he was living. Just like we have deities of Prabhupada in all the temples. Prabhupada is not here in his own physical body now. But when Prabhupada was there, the devotees started making deities of Prabhupada and started installing temples. So this person, his name was Tacharya something. Some Bhatta. So he was from Hyderabad. He took a flight. He came to Mumbai. Prabhupada was in Mumbai that time. And he said, "I want to meet Swamiji." He met Prabhupada and said, "Prabhupada, Swamiji, what is happening? Your disciples are installing deities. You are still there." So Prabhupada said, "So?" This person said, "Swamiji, you know what will happen? People will come. They will touch your deity. They'll touch your lotus feet. They will give their sinful reactions. And you will have to suffer. You should not allow this." Prabhupada said, "That's why I have come here for. To take the sinful reactions and give them devotion. Because devotees have struggled a lot. They have endured so much of pain. That's why we are practicing devotional service." नाना भावेर भक्तगण हमस चक्र वाकगण याते सबे कोरे नविहार कृष्ण के लिए सुमृणाल यहाँ पाई सर्वकाल भक्त हमस करे आहar. The devotees, they are like Hamsa and Chakravak. They are like swan. They are like Chakravaka, always intensely eager for the nectar of Harikatha. Krishna Keli Sumrina. Krishna Keli, the pastimes of Krishna, they are like the soft stem of the lotus. The swans are interested in eating that lotus, that stem. Devotees are like that. And devotees, they are full of this rasa of Krishna consciousness, and they share this Krishna consciousness with everyone. Amritanukshan sadhu mahanta meghagan vishwadhyane kare parishan tate phale amrita phal bhakta khaye nirantar tara sheshe jiye jagajan. The devotees are eating this, drinking this nectar, amrit anukshan, constantly. They are drinking. And these devotees, they are like the clouds. These clouds, sadhu mahanta meghagan, they are like the clouds. And what are they doing? Vishwadhyane kore barishan. They are showering this nectar of Harikatha in the entire world. And by that rain, what is growing? Tate phale amrita phal. The fruits of love of God are growing. And devotees are only eating. And there are too many fruits there, and I have eaten everything. Abhi bas, so much is remaining. What to do now? Distribute. Tara sheshe jiye jagajan. So devotees, they should themselves become absorbed in Harikatha and try to distribute this nectar of Harikatha. Because one time one of the devotees was telling us why we are not, if we are not, if we are seeing that people are not taking to Krishna consciousness, what's the reason? Because the devotee is not desiring strongly enough. If we don't desire, if we don't pray strongly enough, Krishna will not give devotion to living entities. It is not because I am a devotee, I am praying. No, it is service to our Guru Parampara. Whatever we have received, we should try to share. We should pray. Then only Krishna will inspire somebody as Paramatma. Please listen to this person, he's speaking good. So the process of devotional service is just by coming in touch with devotee. That's all. The process of devotional service begins with devotion, coming in touch with devotees. Nothing else. Otherwise, nothing else can give devotion. Nothing else attracts Krishna's mercy. And the process of devotion is dependent on nothing but mercy of devotees. If somebody is a great tapasvi, somebody is a great charitable person, somebody is very beautiful, wealthy, nothing can attract Krishna. Nalam dvijatvam devatvam rishitvam va suratmaja prinanayam kundasya navrittam na bahugyata nadanam na tapo nijya na shausham na vratani cha priyate amalaya bhaktya hariranyad vidambanam. Prahlad is teaching to his friends. He's telling, oh my friends, there is only one qualification, one thing which attracts Krishna. Priyate amalaya bhaktya. When we start serving Krishna without any ulterior motives. Amala Bhakti. That attracts Krishna. Nothing else attracts Krishna. If somebody is a great Brahman, Dvija, even if somebody is a Devata, somebody is a great Rishi, nothing attracts Krishna. Krishna is attracted only by devotion, only by becoming humble servant. Because humility attracts Krishna more. It is described in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Dhyana and yoga, they depend on bhakti, but bhakti does not depend on jnana and yoga. If somebody is practicing dhyana, but not adding devotion in that process, they will not get the result. If somebody is practicing Ashtanga, they are not adding devotion to Vishnu, they will not get the result. Bhakti is not like that. Bhakti is independent. Bhakti is not dependent on anything. There is one thing we should avoid in the practice of devotion. Bhukti and mukti. Bhukti mukti spriha yavat pishachi ridi vartate tavat bhakti sukhasyatra katham abhyudayo bhavet. If somebody has the desire for sense gratification of this world, if somebody has a desire to get liberated, they will not get devotion. It is very, very important to practice pure devotional service. Because Krishna gives everything quickly. If somebody goes and asks Krishna, I want some sense gratification, Krishna will say, take it. He gives quickly. If somebody says, I want liberation, moksha, oh, take it. Devotion doesn't give so easily. Krishna yadi chute bhakte bhukti mukti diya, kabhu Krishna premana den rakhe na lukaya. He keeps devotion hidden. Why? Because Krishna is purchased by pure devotees. And second, which is more important, why Krishna doesn't give devotion so easily? Because we don't endeavor strong enough. Jiv Goswami gives these two reasons. Why bhakti is sudurlabha. One of the qualities of devotion, it is sudurlabha. Why Krishna doesn't give devotion? Because he gets controlled by his devotees, and devotees, they don't struggle enough. So the more we spend years in Krishna consciousness, the more we should become intense, the more we should become serious. And serious does not mean we move around with a very stern face. Oh, I'm serious devotee. Serious means I am very, very focused on the goal. I know where I have to go, and I'll focus on the process. I'll focus on my chanting, my hearing, my reading of scriptures. Then gradually we will advance. Okay, so I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Anybody has any questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all goes to Srila Prabhupada. Am I audible, Prabhu? Hare Krishna?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. I just wanted to thank you for such a wonderful class and your association. You spoke about, how fortunate one is to get a wonderful association. And I was thinking, because recently I had heard a class by Brajabihari Prabhu, where Prabhu was glorifying you, saying what a wonderful devotee you are. You have been serving the devotees as a doctor. You left your professional, but then you're still serving as a doctor at the temple. And I feel so fortunate to have your association and hear Bhagavatam from you. So thank you so much, Prabhu, and thank you. Please keep giving
That's
your
his
association
glory.
more often.
His Pyari Prabhu keeps glorifying everyone. That's his glory.
No, it
Thank
was
you.
really wonderful. The moment I heard your name, it was I could feel it from your class also. We all could feel it from your class also, Prabhu. But hearing from it is like a reaffirmation. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna and Dandavat.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for such a beautiful class. Very grateful to you. And you sharing about how you became Krishna consciousness just by eating prasadam. I also have been the same experience, Prabhuji. And you were saying about getting the prasadam from devotees, even though we are not joining those classes, that gives us guilt. Oh, we are not joining those classes, but still devotees are coming in front of our door and giving prasadam. And that, even for me, that guilt made me to at least go sit at least 10-15 minutes before the program ends. Instead of they coming and knocking my door, I go sit 15 minutes early so that they don't have to come and knock my door. Because of that, I became devotee, Prabhuji. I just wanted to share that. And thank you so much, Prabhu, for such a wonderful class. Very grateful to you. Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, any questions, any realizations? Yeah, I have seen so many raised hands are there. Dr. Babu, Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandot Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, you're slow and steady in Krishna Bhakti over many years. Seems like that Bhagavad Gita verse of Shanair Shanair. And the last conclusion or that we should increase slowly and steadily our intensity and seriousness and focus on the goal. It seems like that Bhagavatam Tivrena Bhakti Yogena. So is my understanding correct that it's slow and steady?
Yes,
consistency?
wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for adding on those verses. It was wonderful. Yeah. Shanai, as Mahaprabhu says, there are so many verses I can speak about these, concepts. As Mahaprabhu tells that Kurma Brahman, Sirahaya Gharao Nahao Batul, Krame Krame Pailok, Bhava Sindhu Pool. He tells actually, Mahaprabhu tells Raghunath Das Goswami, just don't be impatient. Sirahaya Gharao Nahao Batul, don't be mad. Krame Krame, gradually you will advance. Krame Krame, you will attain Krishna's lotus feet. So yeah, there are many verses which describes how one advances slowly in the practice of devotional service. But for sure, in one place Prabhupada writes, this is a slow process of devotional service. One should not expect miracles in this path of bhakti. It is slow. One time, Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he was speaking to some very senior devotees and he was telling them, if you practice Krishna consciousness seriously, intensely, then you will advance slowly. So it was really a little scary. Intensely, if we are practicing, then we'll advance slowly. Then what to speak of if we are relaxed and in a complacent zone practicing? Bhakti is very far away. So I think many of the devotees here are practicing since many years. So now it's the time to step up, become more and more serious. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I see one more raise hand, RJD Dasi. I don't know what's the name. Can you please unmute?
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams to you. Myself Radha Jyoti Mataji here. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances at dust of your lotus feet. My question to you is, you mentioned about we should keep patience while practicing devotion. So I need to know how to practice being patient with oneself while practicing the devotion. How to do that?
Don't expect too much out of yourself. Don't expect that I should become pure devotee in at least 5 years. Mein to banna hi chahiye pure devotee. My anartha should decrease. Boss boy, too much. No, we should never expect any of this. Karmanyavadhikarasya is not just for speaking to people. It is for us also. Just be focused on the practice of devotion. Don't expect too many miracles. Whenever Krishna wants, he'll purify us. And if he wants us to go on struggling, okay, it's Krishna's desire. We should struggle. So that is patience. We should not become frustrated, depressed. What is happening to me? Still I am not advancing. Still I have same anarthas. Still I am getting disturbed by petty things of the world. My foolish, sinful desires are still troubling me. No problem. Keep on practicing. The path is a sure path. There is no doubt that this will be successful. This may be successful or may not. No, it is not like that. I'll tell you a very beautiful hope-giving verse. Krishna tells in the 11th canto, Badhyamanopi madbhakto vishayairajitendriyah prayah pragalbhaya bhaktya vishayairna vibhuyate. This is such a beautiful hope-giving verse. Whenever somebody feels hopeless, read this verse. This verse says, Krishna is himself telling, it is not that Krishna is not aware of our struggles. He says, Badhyamanopi, my devotee, he is bound. Mad bhakta, my devotee is bound by material desires. Vishayair ajitendriyaha, he is not able to win over the senses. But, the next two lines are very important. What is the response of a devotee when he or she is not able to win over the senses? Prayah pragalbhaya bhaktya. He keeps on practicing pragalbha bhakti. Pragalbha means intense devotion. And then the last line is amazing. He says, Vishayair na bhibhuyate. My devotee may lose some battles, but he will win the war for sure. My devotee will not be defeated in the ultimate end. So that is the hope our devotee has, and that is the determination. I will for sure get mercy of the Lord one day. And of course, we are already receiving mercy of the Lord. That's why we are practicing. That's why we are able to practice. Just that, keep on remembering that, okay, time will come when we'll get purified. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
But Prabhuji, I need to add one more question to it, because when we practice, there is not a straight line or there is always a steep in the enthusiasm, isn't it? And then we have to pick up ourselves. And sometimes we focus on mercy because it is very wavy and the association differs. At such times there is a need of enthusiasm also to pick up, isn't it, when the patience is not up to the mark? So how does that comes into the action, how we should practice about it?
Be with a devotee always. Take shelter of devotees. Then we'll again come back to enthusiasm. Please do not fight your battles alone. That is very important. Our devotees are our shelters. Jnanavalambaka kechit kechit karmavalambaka vayam tu haridasanam padatranavalambaka. Some people take shelter of jnana, some people take shelter of karma. We take shelter of the footwear of devotees. That means we take shelter of the devotees' mercy. Swakripa yashtidanena santa santwavalambanam. This another beautiful verse says, O devotees, please give me the stick of your mercy. Only by the stick of the mercy of devotees. What is that verse? Durgam pathi me andhasya skhalatpad gate muhu swakripayashti danena santa santovalambanam. He says, I am climbing a steep hill and I am becoming blind. I am falling at every step. O devotees, please give me stick of your mercy. Then only I can climb this steep hill of devotion. So please take shelter of devotees. Whenever we feel
And
despondent,
Prabhuji, and one more question. And one more question was about we see the Lord and the Anarthas at the same time. And could you please explain about how does that happen? I mean, we see the Lord because there will be the mercy of the Lord, right? And we see the Anartha, that is also mercy of Lord.
seeing the Lord is a later thing. First, we start seeing our anarthas. And when the anarthas are purified, then we start seeing the Lord gradually. So that is the later stage. First, we start seeing our anarthas.
Seeing
That
the Lord
happens
in sense
quickly.
the mercy of the Lord.
Of course, Without mercy of the Lord, we cannot see him. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much once again. But there is one question. Everybody is glorifying your class, but then I would like to read the question. By Suksagari Mataji was wondering how your near and dear took to your decision to practice as a full-time monk, having started as an aspiring medical doctor. It will inspire all of us. Please kindly share with us.
It was nothing interesting and exciting. It's just a regular course of events. One time I was giving a class and I was introduced that, oh, he's a devotee, he was a doctor, and then he joined. So after the class, one student comes and says, sir, what happened? क्या हुआ? कुछ problem था? Or then he said, कोई थी क्या? He said, you had somebody who left you, and then you started thinking. So nothing. My journey in Krishna consciousness is not something very adventurous, so to say. How I joined, it was a gradual, way Krishna inspired me to take this decision. I was doing good in my studies. It was not that I failed and I thought, Abhi jane do, abhi I'll join only. But somehow, gradually, by staying with devotees and practicing, something happened. Gradually started thinking, having this thought, maybe I should try this process wholeheartedly. And of course, the journey in coming to Krishna consciousness and staying in the association of devotees was really a wonderful journey. Yeah, so it was a gradual development of how I came. It all happened by the mercy of devotees, association of devotees. Otherwise, it was not that I was, since birth, a very, very spiritual type of person. Oh no, a general, Indian family, Hindu family, going to temple sometimes. But just by coming in touch with devotees in my college, that was really a different experience. Getting to see such wonderful devotees. I was fortunate enough when I was there in college, Gaurang Prabhu, he would come regularly. One time, and Gaurang Prabhu would get khichdi and halwa. Every program he would get. So one time, what happened? Gaurang Prabhu, he would carry. One time he didn't carry that, he didn't bring that khichdi and halwa. So the devotee was organizing. He saw Prabhuji has come alone. So he said, Prabhuji, aap akele aaye ho. You have come alone. So Prabhuji said, no, khichdi halwa is coming. So he said, okay, Prabhuji, please come. We are waiting. That's how, khichdi and halwa was our anchor. And many in our college programs, in the class, we would be having 10, 12, 15 people, students. And for Prasad, we had 40 people. And everybody would come for Prasad. Just by eating Prasad, many people, they became devotees later. So that's the general course, how a student becomes a devotee, starts practicing. But just seeing devotees practicing bhakti intensely, we had some very, very wonderful seniors with me, my wonderful friends, which I made in Krishna consciousness. And throughout life, I didn't have many friends because my father was in Air Force and I kept traveling because of the transfers every 3-4 years. Only friends I made when I came to college, the devotees, and I am still with them, the best friends. So this entire process of staying with devotees and sharing Krishna consciousness with them, hearing from them, that has been my anchor. That has helped me to take some decisions. And whatever Krishna inspired, I have taken that decision. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Okay, Mataji, go ahead.
Sorry, Mataji, did I interrupt you? I just wanted to thank Prabhuji for his answer. Prabhuji, I had basically asked the question, and I'm not sure. Firstly, Dandavad Pranam, Prabhuji. Thank you for the beautiful class, and I wasn't sure if um, uh, if I'd conveyed it the right way. So all I was wanting to know is, I mean, as you mentioned now, bhakti is all inspiring, all attractive. No doubt, Prabhuji, you took to it. I was only wondering because as a medical doctor, there could be family. Like who wanted to see you as a flourishing doctor or a medical person like that. And I mean, I was coming from that side, that from that angle, that did you I mean, were your family very uh, I mean, like, were they cooperating with your decision, or were they very happy with it? Or, I mean, did you face anything like that? Because even for girls, it's difficult to kind of give up their careers and move to this path. And I mean, parents do have some resistance. So I was just coming from that angle. I totally didn't mean anything else at all with my question, Prabhuji. And just one more thing I wanted to add was, been listening to your classes for long, and you sure have used your, the propensities which a medical doctor need, like high memory and memorization and things like that, so nicely in service by quoting so many verses. I mean, there's so many verses each class I listen to each of your classes, Prabhuji. Like, it's just so inspiring that how you've used all your propensities in the service of Krishna. Please continue to inspire us, and my apologies if the question turned out something else, but I never meant it that way. Yeah, thanks so much, Prabhuji. I was just wanting to know, how you handle the other things like that, like, things from near and dear who may have reservations about about your decision to move in as a monk. So
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for all your blessings. I keep quoting shlokas, but if you all show mercy, then these shlokas, the meanings will go from head to heart. Yes, regarding my family, yes, as every family, it was a tough decision. They had a tough time, but now they have accepted. They started chanting. They were already devotees by the time I joined. Now, I think in last 2016 or 17, they got initiated also. Both of them are initiated devotees. My mother is wonderful devotee. She chants 64 rounds every day practically. Father is also chanting around 32 rounds. They have deities at their home. So I can see that decisions were tough. It was painful to them, very, very difficult phase for them. But they never lost their faith in Krishna. That was the good thing which I saw in them. They were wonderful, very good souls, very gentle, humble devotees. And yeah, they are very, very wonderful devotees, supporting always. Of course, every mother feels that, okay, okay, if you are married, then okay, you could have done same devotional service. That will always be there. But they are now happy. So that's what I can tell about them. They are very wonderfully practicing. And my parents, they stay in very near ISKCON temple in Mira Road. Practically every day they are there in the Mangalarti. They get up at 2:30 in the morning. Now it's a difficult thing. That's why many times I feel scared going there. I'll have to get up early in the morning, so I don't go so much. But I go and meet them regularly. They are happy. They are very wonderful. Thank you for asking this question. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very, very wonderful class, Prabhuji, and very nicely you explained, like slow and steady wins the race. So we have to be slow but we should not stop. That's the essence of today's class. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, and thank you so much for sharing about yourself. Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji, for this opportunity to serve. Seek blessings of all the devotees. It is easy to speak, but if the devotees they bless, then these words will become realizations. Otherwise, it is easy to speak because after spending few years in Krishna consciousness, it is not a big thing to speak. But unless the devotees show mercy, these words will not become realizations. So please pray for me also and bless me so that I can also
Please
become a
pray
better.
for us, Prabhuji. We need
Hare.
blessings.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Once again, thank you so much for such a beautiful class, Prabhuji. We look forward for your association again and again. I would like to offer my obeisances to you and all the Vaishnavas assembled on the call. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya
Vancha
kripa
kalpatarubhyaksha kripa sindhu priyavacha patitana pavanebhyo namo namah.
Koti Vaishnavin ki jai, Shila
Ki
Prabhupada
jai.
ki jai, His
Jai.
Krishna
Jai.
ki
Jai.
jai.
Radhe
Prabhuji,
Radhe.
Dandavat
Nityananda.
Prabhuji.
Nityananda.
Gaur
Nityananda.
Gaur
Thank you so much, dear
Gauranga.
devotees. All here.
Jai.